Hey, this is Wayne Williams. Speaking of horses, we're at the Midwest Horse Fair. We're going to watch some draft horse highlights coming right up.
Horse Fair 2024. What do you say? What do you say? We start this grand march off with the grandest marchers of all. Please make welcome to the Myers Farms Draft Horse Belgium and the 6-horse hitch. You talk about horsepower. There it is. And look at the elegance of the maneuver as well. The Meyer Farms Belgium is a fourth-generation family hitch. The 10-horse pyramid, well, the 10-horse inline last night, they ran during the rodeo. We may see that pyramid sometime during the week. You see up there with the reins in the hands, what was started by Randy Meyer is his youngest son, Chris. He's got the reins in hand. And then it's Chris's son, the 19-year-old Ty. They brought him in with just two, and they did the rest of the hitch to get the front four in. That's your lead horses down to the wheel horses, then those in the middle as well. Now you're seeing Ty reach over to help with those lines to keep that squared up. You know, there's a lot of tug on these horses. Each one weighing about a ton. Each one eating about 20 pounds of feed a day. Yeah, we're talking about, that's where we're at. Watch them spin the top right here as they spin that fifth wheel around. Watch that inside back wheel. It stayed still for a moment, they spun it right around. And there's a lot of voice commands in here as well. What we're going to do is maybe bring that music down just a hair where we can hear Chris talking to these animals. Listen for the voice commands. When he gets in a tight turn, not only the reins, but the ears. You watch those.
Hey, it's Wayne Williams. Speaking of horses, and we're here at the Midwest Horse Fair. We're in Madison, Wisconsin. It's April 2024. Now, my guess...
It has been a hot minute since we've seen each other.
It's been a while, yes. Robert Eversole, the Trailmeister.
Running on caffeine and carbohydrates today.
We ran into each other many times for horse fairs, and it's been a while.
It had, well, before the world ended, we were seeing each other constantly. We were like gypsies across the nation.
3, 4, 5, 6 horse fairs a year.
Yeah.
And then everything kind of screeched to a halt.
Right.
And you had a little issue.
Yeah, I ran into a little, had a eventful ride in Montana. River crossing got
But everything's fine.
Walking and talking.
There you go. And I'm sitting there talking about my bum knee, but I'm walking and talking, so.
It could be much worse.
Tell me how you're doing here at the Midwest Horse Fair.
Doing great. I get to hang out with horse folks, share a little bit what I picked up over the years, and talk about trail riding and camping with livestock. It really doesn't get better.
And that's right up your alley, right?
That's my happy place.
So tell us a little bit about Trailmeister for those that may not know exactly what that is.
Thank you. So Trailmeister is the largest guide to horse trails and camps in the U.S. We've got over 30, just 3,700 places across the U.S. and Canada. And it's all the stuff that I want to know about a horse camp before I pull in. So most importantly for me is the parking. Can I get my trailer in and out? So I have satellite imagery of all the horse parking areas, as well as links to all the land managers. It's predominantly our public access areas, the places that your and I taxes pay for. We've got some, private dude ranch type things in there, but for the most part, it's our public access places.
Well, and if you're rolling in with a living quarters gooseneck trailer with your horses and everything, and you're rolling kind of up these narrow roads into some of these areas, you would definitely like to know what you're getting into.
Exactly. Am I going to be able to, is it a pull through, is it a turnaround kind of area for my rig? Are there restrooms? Is there water? Are there corrals? Are there high lines? Is there electric? All that good stuff, as well as, we've got trail maps for most of the areas. For me, the links to the land managers are very important because I want to know what the rules are.
Right. So, and that's quite an undertaking, and you also go out, like here at the horse fairs.
Yeah.
You do talks with people on, tips on what to do, how to be safe, how to do things.
So, I've been riding and camping and packing for a hot minute. Over heavens.
A while.
I feel old now. It's been 25, 26 years.
Yeah.
I got in, of course, late in life because of women. We've talked about that.
Yeah.
That's how I met my wife. But I talk to people about the things that I wish I had known 25 years ago. You know, because I believe our trail ride and camping trip starts long before we load up that trailer. You know, not only are our animals ready to go, but are we prepared? So this morning at 11 here at the Midwest Horse Fair, we're going to be talking about wilderness camping. Because you don't have to be a packer to experience the wilderness. You can go in off your riding stock. I mean, there's some planning and preparation, but we're going to talk about that. And it's a happy place. If you can't, I mean, you know me. You know, I like what I talk about.
Sure. And when you get into the subject, and I got to ask you real quick, are you still doing the stickers?
The stickers.
Snickers.
These things run on caffeine and carbohydrates. Of course I throw candy bars at people.
One of the first times I met Robert years ago at a horse fair, he had this big bag up there, and somebody answered a question, he throws him a little mini Snickers bar. And there were Snickers flying all over the room, and I thought, now that's the best gimmick I've ever seen.
You gotta engage your audience.
That's right.
You gotta engage your audience.
Well, you're here at the Midwest Horse Fair this weekend. This is Saturday morning. You're here again Sunday as well.
Yes.
Check out the schedule online. Come on over. Learn a lot about camping and trail riding and everything from Robert. Robert, thank you.
Wayne, thank you so much.
Good to see you again.
You too. It's a pleasure.
Stay with us. We got more reports coming right here at the Midwest Horse Fair.
How cool.
Hey, we at Speaking of Horses want to thank some of these people that have made this program possible. Piranha and all of their insect control products. A thank you to Piranha. Also, we want to give a great big thank you to Revitavet. Light systems for therapy and muscle maintenance, Revitavet. And Orange Slow Feeder, helping you to feed your horses in the proper, slow manner. And here is the Wisconsin State Horse Council Horse Person of the Year Award.
So I will tell you his story, and it is worth the listen. Lee Sackett has been involved with the horse world for more than 50 years. Lee started his horse life growing up in California and then on to Idaho. As a truck driver in the early 90s, he found himself in Wisconsin where he met his future wife, Diane. Their common interests brought them together and he started riding and training horses again. Lee has been involved in many equine groups, activities, including being a Wisconsin Horse Council judge, conducting 4-H clinics, a member of several local horse associations, the Midwest Horse Fair Board for several years. He's been involved in the Midwest Horse Council for nearly 30 years as president and on many different committees. He's been a delegate on the American Horse Council for about 20 years as well. The list goes on and on. Folks, he's an integral part of our equine world. He's been involved in this event for years. He is one of the guys that keeps the horse industry alive and well in Wisconsin. We're very honored to have him. Let's congratulate Lee Sackett, the 2024 recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award. Thank you, Lee. Well done, sir.
Hey, it's Wayne Williams. Speaking of horses here at the Midwest Horse Fair. It's a fine Sunday morning, and Mary Ellen Miller is my guest with the American Standardbred Adoption Program.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Well, these horses are off the track, usually from New York, Indiana, or Illinois. The owners donate them to us. So they are trailer safe, they are vet friendly, they are farrier friendly, and it doesn't take a lot. They're cart horses, but it doesn't take a lot to transition them into saddles.
Well, there are a lot of standardbreds you see out doing a lot of other things once they're done with a racing career. Some of them just are there because they didn't quite make it to the track.
Right.
Either way, they need a second career. And it's fantastic that you take these horses and do this. Now, you live here in Wisconsin.
Right.
And I know that the Standardbred Adoption, they've got some great partners here in Wisconsin. You guys do an awful lot in making this happen.
Right. And the horses are, let's say a person adopts a horse and they find out that it's not the horse for them. Maybe they didn't know what a pacer, the difference between a pacer or a trotter was. And they want to do something like dressage. Let's just say that. And so they're like, oh, I have to teach them to canter. Yeah, and they can learn the canter very well. And so then they come back. I've been an official in eventing. We've had standardbreds doing dressage, cross country, and show jumping. Awesome to see that happen. They've been in the dressage arena, show jumping, they're awesome. Cross country, they just love it. They just go like crazy. It's just like,
Well, they've got a desire to go.
Yeah.
And they love to go, but they're very trainable.
Yes.
Very trainable horses.
and they love kids. They are a great therapy horse.
But when you think standardbred, you still think about them. Of course, in the Midwest, between Wisconsin, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa, the standardbred racing at county fairs has been a staple for
Right.
a century or better,
Right.
or longer.
Right.
All the way back to Dan Patch around 1900.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it's been a mainstay. And but the standardbreds are kind of, I don't know how I say this, they're kind of an overlooked breed.
They are, because of their big heads, you know? I mean, but once they're set, I had one that I showed dressage. She was the 18 hands. She was blind in the arena here. I had an autistic young man on her, and he did the mailbox, and he rode her bitless.
Wow.
And I had taught him to ride with leg pressure and seat pressure. So that's all he knew.
Right.
And he was in the arena just doing a wonderful job.
And they are really great horses to be doing this with. Now, American Standardbred Adoption Program. So how do people contact you?
Okay, so they can go to our website, www.americanstandardbredadoptionprogram.com. There is, Sue has horses, our director, Sue Wellman, has horses at DeSoto where the farm is located, but they're also in foster homes across the state of Wisconsin. So if you see something on the website that you'd want to look at, contact us and we will make it happen.
That's great. Now, or you can just look up standardbreds and learn about the standardbred horse, period.
Right, and where their lineage is from, because they're in warm blood.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people don't understand is, like all warm bloods, when they're resting, you have a vet check, and when they're just standing there, it sounds like they have a heart murmur. Get them in a trot, they have a regular heartbeat.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so, but they are wonderful horses. I mean, the people, I think when they think standardbred too, they think Amish. Because Amish have the
A
standardbred.
lot of standardbreds are in the
Yeah.
Amish programs, right?
And so I think that they have this preconceived notion that Amish are cruel. And I always say there's 1% in every population that does it. But we've gotten horses from the Amish that they weren't going to be able to do the plowing, but they were great with kids. So they give them to us and they're like, so.
Just give them a good home, and
Yeah.
then you can find them a home that will allow them to excel at whatever they do.
Right, and the adoption fee is $1,000, so it's not that high. And let's say you don't, she gives like a test drive, so if you don't like it, you can come and take another one. I have never had that problem. Once they're in my possession, they're good.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Tanya lived to be 38. Courtney's, my other horse that I have, she's 35. Not rideable, but she loves to look at the boys, and she's the boss mare, and so she's very good.
Well, it's American Standardbred Adoption Program. Mary Ellen, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Check them out because you
Yep.
can't go wrong. And we're here at the Midwest Horse Fair. Stay with us. More reports coming your way.
Thank you so much, Wayne.
Next is the Wisconsin Horse Council Director of the Year, and this year it goes to Cricket Jewett. The Wisconsin Horse Council would like to take this opportunity to recognize Cricket Jewett as the Director of the Year award recipient. Cricket is a lifetime horse person and a longtime member of the Walking Horse Association. Cricket is the chairperson of the sponsorship committee, the co-chair of the Trails Committee, and represents equestrians of the Wisconsin State Trails Council. Cricket is well organized and puts a large amount of time and effort into dealing with equestrian issues throughout the state of Wisconsin while working with other committees. The Wisconsin Horse Council would like to congratulate on you being the 2024
Hey, we at Speaking of Horses want to thank many of the people that have made this program possible. Total Feeds, Dr. Harry Anderson and Total Feeds, a huge supporter. Drinking Post Waterers, frost-free waterers, no electric needed. Thank you to Drinking Post and the Natural Vet and Red Cal and many of their fine products. Thanks. And the Wisconsin State Horse Council awards the Horse or Equine of the Year award. Let's watch that for 2024.
Next will be the Equine of the Year, and it is Gallio. I will be the recipient. The story goes as, it's quite a story. How does one begin to explain the impact an equine can have on a person's life? Artifacts, Gallant Ghost, better known as Gallio, is the perfect example of that. The Gorman's daughter Jessica has paraventricular leukomalacia, which impacts motor skills and speech. The Gorman family had heard what an impact horses have on those with disabilities, so they felt the need to find Jessica that perfect horse. Stacy Gorman, she best describes Gallio as a 16-3 hand, solid paint.
Speaking of horses, we're here at the Midwest Horse Fair 2024. Terry Giannotti is my guest. Now, you're the new executive director, well, second year at the Midwest Horse Fair, and I know there's a lot of challenges, so what makes this thing fly? How involved do you get in this?
Yeah, so it takes a village, right? It is, it's about an 18-month planning cycle, and we've got a permanent office team in place, and then we have a very active, wonderful Midwest Horse Fair Board of Directors, and they're all part of the Wisconsin State Horse Council, which we're a part of that. All our net proceeds go back to help the equine community in Wisconsin and beyond, really. So, and then we do have an amazing weekend team that comes in and helps set up and make sure everything runs. And then we have over 300 volunteers. So,
well, and this event is, 50, 60, 70,000 people attend here on a 3-day weekend in Madison. And it is a very large undertaking. It takes a village, as you say, to make this happen, and I'm very aware of that. And I know that on your shoulders, you're kind of where that little sign says the buck stops here. That's where it kind of comes to. But how do you like doing this? Now, this is your second year. Are you really enjoying this thing?
Yeah, I love it. It's the equine community is an amazing community, and really comes together and supports each other. And the Midwest Horse Fair it's all heart. We have over 30 different breed and discipline groups. That just care tremendously about the fair, and we care about them. And it's a privilege. I look at it really like a privilege to lead the team and to be a part of it and to make a difference. And it's a lot of fun.
What it amounts to is you bring all of the various breeds of horse people together. I don't care if you're Arabians, saddlebreds, donkeys and mules, it doesn't matter. You all come together and you support the equine industry, because when you go for anything that requires legislation, it's numbers. And if you go in as individual groups, you get nowhere. As you go in as large numbers, you can have a lot of influence over what happens. And a horse fair brings all of those people together for the good of the horse and the good of the agricultural part of this community. And then all the good, because with the Horse Council, with the scholarships, in just a moment here, the awards are going to be going on in the Coliseum. But all that money gets funneled back out to help various parts of the equine industry and overall help Wisconsin. And that's what it's all about.
It is. And this year, we big part, part of, our mission is really to be the epicenter for the equine community each year. And the 2024 is our 43rd annual fair. And we hosted the Wisconsin FFA State Horse Evaluation for the first time on Friday. And so, you know, the winners, the competitors there, the winners who won were going on to the national competition. But, you know, obviously we had, I think, almost 1,000 students here on Friday between FFA and WEHA and 4-H. You know, I had a privilege of speaking to a big group of them, you know, and that's, you know, one of our big, you know, missions is to deliver education for the equine community and the future of it, which are those students, right?
Right.
I told them, you are the future, right? We're not getting any younger, and so,
Well,
you
speak
know,
for yourself.
well, you can wish that'll happen, but it ain't happening. No. But so, you know, but that's the future. And then we had a new equine career forum this year too for them, and where we are, you know, educating them on, you know, I think we had Dr. Corinne Bump came in from New York. She's an equine career expert, and she hosted this all weekend, and she hosted a forum yesterday, and she was talking about the equine industry, and it's I think she said something around maybe $170 billion or a big number. And she said, you know, there's so many opportunities, and we have them here too. I mean, we have exhibitors, over 400 exhibitors that offer everything for horse and rider from head to toe. You know, but whether it's nutrition or apparel or retail or equipment or barns or software, right? I mean, there's so many ways to bring your passion for horses to your career.
And you know, I will say, and I do horse fairs all around the country, have for years, and this one for years. But when it comes to horse fairs and what they have become and what they do, Wisconsin has one that's second to none. And, you know, I would say there are maybe 3 major ones in the country that are huge and do great things. This is one of them. I'm not going to pick which one's number 1 in the country, because I may be wrong.
I think it's Midwest Horse
But,
Fair.
but this horse fair is right there and has been for years. And I think you're doing a great job since you came in to revitalize certain things that needed to be done within this event. So, but the Midwest Horse Fair is a premier event every year here in Madison.
It is, and thank you for your kind words. I'm glad you are here, back at the fair, to kind of capture some moments.
I'm having fun.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you investing your time in us and getting, you know, talking to different folks. And, you know, we do have, you know, competitors and exhibitors and attendees come really from all over the country. So, you know, we're excited to showcase Wisconsin and showcase Madison and showcase really the wonderful equine community that we have.
Very much so. Terry, thank you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate being here again this year and just everything that the Midwest Horse Fair does. So thank you and continued good luck on what you're doing.
Thanks, Wayne.
And we'll have more reports coming here at the Midwest Horse Fair on Speaking
Wayne Williams, speaking of horses, and we are here at the Midwest Horse Fair in Madison, Wisconsin. And Nicole Carswell Toll. I knew I'd get it all out of it as my guest. Now, Nicole's here doing a lot of stuff with gaited horses. We used to run into each other a lot. Years ago, back when my hair was not quite as gray.
Mine was blonder. It's okay.
So tell us about what you're doing here at the Midwest Horse Fair.
Okay, well, I am here as the gaited clinician, doing presentations. I brought a couple Tennessee walking horses with me, all the way from Colorado. Have a few really nice people here in Wisconsin participating as well, but I'm doing topics on training the Tennessee walking horse.
Well, there's been, gaited horses in general are, you know, there's a lot of advantages that I see to gaited horses.
Oh, yeah.
Especially as you get older. It's easier,
Yeah,
right?
yes.
But tell us the basic differences in training a gaited horse versus a regular, as I would say, gaited horse versus a gaited horse that does some type of gait or whatever it is. There's not a lot of difference other than having them gait properly, right?
Are you wanting to know the differences between the Tennessee walking horses and other ones, or gaited in general versus trotting breeds?
Well, let's take gaited in general versus
Okay. Well, the gaited horses versus trotting horses. First of all, there are many similarities between all horses. Some things are just a horse, you know. But with gaited horses, often because people buy them for leisure, they want smooth gait, they want it to be easy. Maybe they have an injury, maybe they're older, and, you know, so they don't trot. So in training them, you're looking to do things that will encourage smoothness. So the bitting, the way you sit them is more of a Western seat, but you ride with more of an English hand.
Now, obviously you focus on Tennessee walking horses. So tell us the advantages of the Tennessee walking horse.
Well, a Tennessee walking horse, compared to all other gaited breeds, takes the longest step. So the stride, one single stride on a Tennessee walking horse is greater than the stride on all other gaited breeds. These horses were bred and developed to cover ground in the plantation era. And so that has not changed. We still develop and try to train the longest stride so they take a long step. The other breeds can do things like rack or foxtrot, which is shorter.
Yeah. Well, it's really good to run into you here.
Yeah.
See you here in Madison,
Wayne.
Midwest Horse Fair. This is actually being done on Friday. You'll see this Friday night probably posted. So if you want to come out on Saturday or Sunday, which is the 20th or 21st of April, at the Alliance Center in Madison, Wisconsin, you can catch up with Nicole and learn a lot about what's going on here. So we're
All of us gaited clinicians have a different approach.
but you're all striving for similar results.
Oh, we all are. We sure are. Yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Wayne.
Good to see you.
Yes,
All
you
right.
too.
Stay with us. We got more coming. Speaking of horses. We're going to cap off the 2024 Midwest Horse Fair with the Palomino Breeders Youth Crew.
My name is Ava Scheider, and I'm from Woodburn, Indiana, and I'm one of the vice presidents on the Palomino Youth Board. And we love coming to Midwest Horse Fair to educate the public about the Palomino breed and what we have to offer.
My name is Allie Taylor, and I am from Appleton, Wisconsin. Unfortunately, we were unable to bring our Palominos this year because of the virus, but we wanted to keep our herds at home safe and keep them protected so that we can show this summer.
My name is Avi Chauvas, and I'm from Minnesota, and I love coming to Midwest Horse Fair to really explore all the breeds and educate people on the PHBA program.
I'm Maddie Royak, I'm from Nebraska. I love showing the PHBA because there's so nice.
My name's Addison Strokas, and I'm from Minnesota. I like coming to Midwest Horse Fair to learn about all the different breeds and check out our stall in Pavilion 2, stall 1616.
Well, you guys are great representatives. Now, you'll all be at the World Show in July?
Yes.
Tell us a little about that, somebody.
The World Show is in Springfield, Illinois in July, and there's a youth part of it, and we'll all be showing in the Youth World Show. We do lots of different activities to get the youth involved, and just, it's a fun time.
We have something that's called the Kickoff Bash, where we have lots of food and activities for our youth, and it gets a lot of us to know each other. And it's really nice for the new members who come because they feel very welcome, and it just gets them more people that they know. So that's always fun.
Well, I will also mention that speaking of horses, we'll be back. I'll be back there live streaming the both youth and open World Show again. So we look forward to doing that. That's a week later this year in July in Springfield, Illinois at the Illinois State Fairgrounds, right? Well, you ladies are great representatives. I've ridden the Palomino for years. So we thank you. Tell everybody to come join the Palomino Breeders.
Come join the Palomino Breeders.
There you go.